This video is about putting a tow receiver onto a first generation Toyota Highlander and wiring it for towing. Here you can see where we'll be placing the receiver onto the frame. Each side has a bracket for towing that comes from the factory. Those need to be removed because the two holes that hold those on will be used. In addition to the two holes that held the tow brackets on from the factory, there's a rubber cover over a third hole which will be used on each side, so a total of 6 bolts will be used. I had already done this on the other side, but I filmed this side. I'm using the provided Curt bolts to chase the threads in case there's any corrosion in it, and I'd rather do it now than have it while I'm holding the receiver and trying to balance it. You don't want to cross thread, you want to be careful not to, so I was going in nice and easy and the threads grabbed right away and started going, so I felt comfortable doing this. If you don't feel comfortable using a power tool to chase threads, do it by hand and use a ratcheting wrench. Because I was doing this by myself, and literally this could be a lot easier with the two-person situation holding up the receiver, I used these jack stands and a floor jack to put it where I wanted it to be, and you can see that I covered the tops of those jack stands with a rag and tape just to make sure that I didn't scratch up the receiver. I didn't want... essentially, it doesn't matter, this is an outdoor deal, but I didn't want to put any scratches and accelerate the corrosion that will eventually happen to this. So what I'm doing here is going back and forth with torquing down these bolts. As you can see, as I tighten them, you can see slowly those washers have those little teeth in them, and they're biting into the metal, which is assuring that they'll hold very well. So yeah, back and forth, just like you would on a tire in a star pattern-ish, to assure that you get a good torque on them and even tension. So that was my thought there. And just like that, 6 bolts and receivers attached to the bottom of the vehicle. And next we'll get to the wiring. The wiring harness is like what they call plug and place. Here I have some tab removers from Harbor Freight. I think I got a kit that came with maybe 4 or 5 pieces for about $6. Very handy to have. And these, I'm showing you the tabs that you need to remove to take the body plastic panels out. This is, I think, called a scuff guard. Now this part here can be a little tricky to get out, so it actually, obviously fits in there because it came like that, but it's you have to do a little bit of wiggling to get this piece out. The nuts come off by hand. I didn't have to use a wrench or anything there, just hand tight. There's the plug. And they just click right in. And there's no additional grounding for this. You see a green wire in there, so it must contain the ground within that clip. So after I plugged in my tow lights, which are the ones from Harbor Freight that are magnetized, so they don't require a trailer. They actually hook to your trailer. To give them a test, I saw that the lights were not working. Amazon showed that you probably need to place the fuse in your fuse box of your car in the towing area. If your car didn't come with towing, they didn't put the fuse in that position. As you can see, I don't have a fuse in that position. I took the fuse out of a separate power outlet, which I'm not using, and moved it over. You'll see here. Out to the right of this there's a blank spot, so that's something I can drive the car later to go get a fuse at the auto parts store. And now the lights are working. I didn't film reassembly of the panel, but I took some pictures of how it looks. And look out for that piece of rubber there, or a piece of plastic, that it doesn't hit that black box when you set it down, as shown in the previous picture. I don't keep the wire there, I tucked it up inside. But if you'd like to freeze the video, you can see the instructions to these parts that I placed on the vehicle if you're trying to do this yourself. Also, there'll be links in the description if you'd like to purchase these products on Amazon. Alright, thanks for watching, I appreciate it.